Hello everybody, it's Julia Laird with Senior Susie Stamps, and I'm glad you're with me today. I wanted to make some mini slimline cards today and use some fun stamps that we haven't used recently. And I'm going to make a couple Christmas cards and some general thinking of you and birthday cards. So let's get started. This is the basic format, and these are the supplies that I have used. These are some Love from Lizzie peel-offs, and it happens to be number 2451, which is the scalloped edge straight peel-off. Now, I'm here in the United States, and Love from Lizzie is in UK, and so once a year, historically, they have offered free shipping. And what I do that time of year is to order whatever I want for the entire year, and have quite a supply of these on hand, so the shipping to me was a no-brainer. But they're wonderful little additions to cards, so we'll be seeing several different colors of this particular style today. On this card, I used some Poppy Parade ink. This is the stamp set that I used. It's called Christmas Greeting. Lots of you probably have this because it's an older set. And this is what the inside looks like. And then I used some Stampin' Arounds that I have pulled off the wheel and mounted up onto Easy. There is a video on how to do that, and I will leave that in the description box below. But this is the stamp that I used for the background on this one, and these are the Christmas trees. This was long enough that I could cut that one off for the inside, but I thought it made a really nice little card. The brushed gold paper, I have no idea where I got that. I've had it for years. I have a little piece left. I'll probably have it for a few more years, and then it'll be gone, and I'll be wishing I had some more of it. These little tiny gold stars, if I'm not mistaken, came from Hobby Lobby in some, I think it was shaker fill, if I'm not mistaken, but don't they make a nice little addition to that card? Now, if I had been smart, when I had this stamp on my Misty, I would have stamped the envelope. I will go back and do that before I file these cards away, but I just thought I'd bring that to your attention. Let's get started. I'm going to show you how I like to cut my cardstock for Mini Slimline card when I'm not doing a second card with it. And that is, I like to take the first cut is my 6 1/4 off of the 8 1/2 inch side, and then I take my 6 1/2 off of what's left, so I end up with 6 1/4 by 6 1/2, and I score that right down the middle. So my finished card base is 3 1/4 by 6 1/4, and that works really well for me to go in a number 7 coin envelope. So that's how I typically cut these. And then this little piece here, you can cut it in half and use it for a top layer on your Mini Slimline card if you want to. And I would cut it at 5 1/4 by 2 1/4, and that will give you a perfect layer for the top of your card. We're not going to use that today because I already had some scraps left over, and that's what we're using. Now, I will be using my Missy today. However, I think if you're a good stamper and you've got a big stamp block like this, you could probably get by with stamping these by hand. However, it's probably better to use a stamping platform if you can. Now, I got some little beads from a follower, and these are, and I probably won't pronounce it right, but I believe they're called perler beads that she melted and made into gems for me. Aren't those wonderful? So I thought we'd try to use some of those, and thank you very much for that, Happy Mail. I'm going to use Melon Mambo. I have some twine here that's pink and white. And I also have some new markers. I'm going to leave these down in the description box below. They're metallic colored pens by XSG, and I really, really like these. I forgot to show you, but I used some of that pen in gold on the Christmas trees. You can see the little doodle that I did there, and it just really kind of finished that card. I have two stamps that I want to use today. This piece is 2.5 by 5.5, which is a layer for my Mini Slimline card. So I'm going to set that up in my Misty. And I'm going to use this stamp today. I have no idea what the name of it is. When I pulled it off the wheels, I didn't worry about what the names were. There's a little cat hair on that. Imagine that, Cordelia. Okay. But I didn't keep the names of these stamps. There are wheel stamps readily available in the used stamp world, and I have a nice little collection of them, and I really like using them for Mini Slimline cards. Now, it will be too long for this piece, and that's fine. I don't need it to stamp the entire way, but I do need to pull my little piece of foam out, because with these, they are thicker than what you would want to do with your foam in. One of the things about these cards that I tried to do today is to make them kind of monochromatic with an accent color. And so we'll see whether the things that I have picked out to go with this color will actually go with it. I'm not sure. We'll see how that works. I'm going to get my Speedball Baron out to press on this. I haven't used it in a while, and some of you folks that are new to the channel may be interested in that. This is called a Speedball Baron. It has a Teflon base to it, and it slides really nice and easily. It has a good grip on it, which is easy for my older arthritic hands than trying to hand press that down. I believe that needs another little coat of ink. This one is going to be a birthday card, so I want it to be bright and cheerful. I have two other cards for us to make, and I've done all the preliminary prep work for that, those other two, but I just wanted to show you the entire process on this card. Let me get my tweezers to pick this up with. I'll set that aside and wipe my surface down. Pink and red ink stain fairly easily, so I kind of like to get them out of the way as soon as I can. Now I'm going to use another piece of scrap paper, and I want to get a longer one here for the top layer, because we're going to use this stamp now that has the packages on it. And I can put that right over kind of next to one edge, and then I'll trim the other edge off. Let me pull this stamp out of the way and try not to get my fingers on it. Because you all know if there's loose ink flying around any place, I can get a hold of it. Isn't that right? You've seen that before. You can see if you were going to make several cards at one time, either for a group card distribution like you know I do, or for Christmas cards, or if you just like to make your birthday cards all at one time, this is a great way to do it, especially if you have some of these Stampin' Around wheels that you have pulled off. They're just fun, and they're absolutely perfect for Mini Slimline cards, I think. I always have to add that little caveat, don't I? Let's see. Oh, that looks good. Alrighty. Now, I think that's all I'm going to need. Oh, wait. Let's do the envelope. And let's see. I want to have it kind of go on that side there. So I'll set it right up in here. I know I need to put some washi tape on this. I never can seem to get coordinated to get that done. All right, now let's try this. See what we end up with. Could have used just a little more room at the bottom, but it is going to be fine for what I want to do. All right, I'm going to get this out of the way. I'll bring my little cutter in because we'll need that in a minute. Oh, and I think I'm through with that ink for right now until I get ready to do the sentiment. So this one I want to cut, and looks like I might have a little piece to go on the inside of this card, one of those little packages, which would be fun, wouldn't it? And here we go. And I'm going to try to cut this at just an inch. Might have to trim it down from both sides. Let's see how that looks. There we go. I think that's going to be just fine. I'll take one of these little packages off here, I think. Right about like that. And that'll give me a little package to go on the inside for a little fun. I think that's going to be just great, right like that. Okay. So what I have done is to put this piece up on foam. Let's get that done. When you're using 1-inch foam, that makes it easy. When you're cutting it just a little bit. Where's my scissors? They have gone on vacation. Where are they? I found them. I think sometimes I set things back on my back work table back there and forget where they are. Alright, so that's going to look like that. Now, let's get a card base. There we go. Let's see if we can find some fun stuff to go on this. It might be a pretty color. I think that red is just a little too red. Melon Mambo is just a little bit to the pinky magenta side. These are some dazzles from paperwishes.com, and I think we'll try one of these and see how that works. These are a U.S. product, and you can get them anytime you want to from Paper Wishes. I might like this piece right here on that. What do you think? I think so. I think that's going to be pretty. Now on these, you could cut the ends off and save them for another project, but I'm just going to wrap these around. I think it helps to keep your dazzle or your peel off adhered down well to wrap it around that way. And let's put the same. Do we want the same one? Oh, let's put a different one on the bottom or the top, whichever it ends up being. Here we go. How about that? I kind of like that. And here we go. So now this is ready to be glued down to the card front. I'm just going to use some Books by Hand PVA glue for this. I'm just going right over top of those dazzles and giving them a little extra plug of glue, and they should be just fine. Rub it from the back. And I hope I don't have any ink on my fingers this week. Oh, hey. And then this little guy is going to go right down there. And we have the beginnings of a very festive card. All right, I'm going to go ahead and put this down. I think I'll try to use my little grid lines here to get it straight as I can. And I want it to set a little low, but not too terribly low. There we go. Now I have a couple of stamps here. This is a 1994, No Matter How You Spend Your Day, Hope It's Great in Every Way. And this one is a stamp that says, It's Your Day, Enjoy. This stamp has just recently seen ink in my studio. I have not used it much at all. This one I use frequently. So let's try and use these again. And I have a little piece of scrap paper here that I think will do just fine for that. I'll get my ink back in here. And then we'll look for a little piece of trim. There we go. That will go nicely with that little piece. Let me trim this off. I'll be interested to know how many of you have some of these wheels in your studio that you never use. Because I never used mine when they were mounted up on the wheel. I never could get coordinated enough to do it. But when you pull them off this way, you can use them and they work really, really well. All right, let's see what might fit on this. I'm thinking maybe another little tiny strip of that piece would do well because it needs to be kind of small. And I don't need a big long piece. So let me just cut that right now. And we'll put this on the top of that, and it will help coordinate it with the rest of the card. And I'm thinking something up in the neighborhood of that might be good. But let's try and put some of this silver metallic pen on here. Just kind of in a little fill-in doodle fashion, if you will. And see if we can't elevate this up just a little bit more by adding some ink to some of these. I'm not much of a doodler. However, when you're just following the lines, sometimes that's all it takes, isn't it? It doesn't have to be perfect. And that's the whole beauty of doodling. It's some handiwork. And it's just fun to do. And if it's not absolutely perfect, just don't worry about it so much. Really, don't worry about it so much. There, that's probably about enough, but I do think I want to do just a little bit here. There. Now, I'm going to glue that down right there, and we'll call that card done. And I think I need another little piece of foam tape, and I need some glue on this end down here. There. Let's try this ribbon and see. And I'm going to maybe have to do a little pass on these perler beads. Yeah, I don't think they're quite the right color. It's a little too shocking pink for me. I'm going to double this twine, and I'm just going to go ahead and cut it off because I know it's going to be kind of a short bow. This is my 10-second bow maker. I haven't had it out for a while. And it works very, very well. And I'll leave another link to that below also because It's really a wonderful little tool if you don't already have a bow maker. I can highly recommend this one. Let's just see. I'm thinking kind of right up there. I'm going to put that on with a glue dot. I have some mini glue dots, but these are just closer at the moment. So I'm going to roll that up on the back. Now, and that card is finished except for the inside. I'm going to put this stamp on it and my little stamped embellishment, and we'll be done. Our card's finished. All right, let's move on. This one is going to be another Christmas card. I have my parts and pieces all ready to go. I do need to cut a little bit, and again, I'll go back and stamp my envelope, but this is the stamp that I used for the background. It's poinsettia, and then I've got some little a band of angels. Let's see if I can show you those stamps. It's this one and this one. Those are both wheels. I'm going to cut this to the first layer down, which will make it 6 by 3, because those cards are finished out at 6 1/4 by 3 1/4. And these kind of pieces are very usable, so I'll save those. This piece of paper came out of a pack of paper that I got from Hobby Lobby. I know it's been 5 or 6 years ago now, but sometimes when you find some glitter paper in a pack, it's a good idea to just snatch it up, because you can use it for years, like I have been doing this one. I'm going to put this down with glue, and the background on this glitter paper is really smooth, so I'm going to put just a little extra glue track down on this. Sometimes I find that smooth paper is a little hard to adhere sometimes. I'm just trying to get my little border the same all the way around. I opened that up because it was a little bouncy on me. There. I have already stamped the inside of this card, and I have a little angel to go in here as well, so that's what we're going to do. I used that silver pen on the angels, and I don't know if that's going to show up in the camera or not, but there's a little silver dot in each one of those stars, in the hearts, and some of the angel dresses on this one. So this layer has some of that Love from Lizzie peel off on it, and you can see I've wrapped it around the back, and I'm just going to glue this layer down flat. The other layer with the angels has the foam on it to elevate it up, so we can put that right down. I'm going to set this about down here because I want to put the sentiment up above it. I'm going to put that right up in here, I think. And that little Christmas card will be ready to send out. This is new for me. Normally I don't start my Christmas cards until July. And it's June, so we're a little early this year. On that pack of peel-offs, there are different sizes on this scalloped edge. And you can see on my Merry Christmas sentiment, this is a real tiny little scallop, and the other one is a little bit larger, and they really go nicely with that little glitter paper, don't they? So there we go, card's finished. And I will go back and stamp the envelope at a later date. I got one more card to show you, so hang on with me. This is another birthday card, and I'm using the little extra piece here for the front this time. Let me show you the stamps. This is the background stamp for that one. It's just a texture, and this is the cover, the elevated piece that has all kinds of nice little characters on it. And I added some kind of turquoise peel-offs. This is Bermuda Bay. baker's twine, and this is the peel off that I used. Don't know the color number. There's all kinds of different colors in this 2451 style peel off. But now the twine is Bermuda Bay, however the ink is Baja Breeze, and I think it works just fine together for me. I did ink a little bit. I found that Spectrum Noir VB2 works well with this ink color. So I took my pen and inked down the side here. This is not colored paper. This is all one piece of paper. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this directly down, just like we did before, leaving the same border all the way around. And then I'm going to put my little banner down. It's kind of a little ribbon-like character ribbon, isn't it? I thought this would make a nice little Happy Day card. This ribbon was long enough now to go all the way, or almost all the way across the card, so it's about 6 inches. Plus it had this little extra piece, and I thought I would just put it on like that as a little extra front piece. And you can see where I inked around the sentiment just to give it a little extra color there. It's your day, and then there's plenty of room over here to write whatever you want and sign it. So that's my cards for today. Let me get them back out for you. So here they all are. Let me know if you have a favorite, and I will talk to you again soon. So have a great week. Bye-bye, y'all.